How to realize the value of life. Xiefeng. Everything in the universe has value. There is no waste. As one of the 10,000 types of spiritual life of the universe, people have their own value. Well then, what is our value and how do we achieve it? The fundamental value of our existence is to please the greatest creator. The path to realize this value is to observe the way of nature. When all things comply with the way of nature, they realize the value of their existence. When fruit trees bear fruit, they realize their value as fruit trees. When flowers bloom flowers, they realize their value as flowers. When hens lay eggs, they realize their value as hens. By spinning around the sun, the earth realizes its value of supporting life. When we live our whole lives according to the principles and rhythms of nature, we realize our human value. Any practices or behaviors which breach the principles of nature are contrary to the intention of the greatest creator. Not only will they not achieve their own value, but they will also be punished by the law. If roosters learn to lay eggs and hens learn to crow, neither will achieve their own value, and they will be punished. As a person, you need to live out your childhood excitement during your childhood, your youthful charm when you are young, your middle-age style at midlife, and your old age with calm restraint. When everything goes naturally, then you will have realized your value as a person. But we can be lured by devils and demons to give birth to many ideas, requirements, and behaviors that are outside of nature. This is the problem with people. For instance, the idea and practice of, to achieve a career, is against the principles of nature. To honor one's ancestors, to bring glory to one's group or to the state, to live high above others, to be outstanding and to win admiration, and so on are all against the principles of nature. The ideas and practices of sayings about spirits and deities, of fortunes and disasters, and of cultivating magic communications with spirits are even more against the principles of nature. The following ideas and practices are also contrary to the principles of nature. To become fabulously rich with more money than is needed, to buy several villas and houses, to have a lifetime wife or husband, to have dozens of suits of clothing, to become famous, to win the admiration of people, to become a vegetarian and refuse to eat certain foods, to boast of pride, to quit performing useful functions, to live in luxury and spacious houses and drive luxury cars, and so on are all against the principles of nature. The ideas and practices of people wanting to acquire more than their natural needs require are departures from the way of nature. Similarly, when we suppress our nature in order to achieve an objective, it is not submitting to nature, and is also contrary to the way of nature. When contrary to the principles and the way of nature, people cannot achieve the value of their existence. In commodity societies, people frantically pursue material enjoyment and amass wealth. This is a significant departure from the Tao of nature. With secular values, the more they possess, the more they value themselves. But the fact is quite the opposite. That so-called value is not the arrangement of the greatest creator, but the greed and desire of devils. A bird flies in the forest every day, twittering cheerfully, and although it does not possess or store more worms than it needs, it does not worry about whether or not it will have worms to eat the following day. This is in line with the principles of nature. If that bird were to work all day long catching insects and building a big warehouse to store the worms it has caught, then it would be doing those things contrary to the Tao of nature. The Tao of nature is everlasting. Returning to nature is the strongest requirement and the cry of the modern time. If you want to achieve the value of life, you should not nurture wild desires and ambitions or attempt to rise above others, and should not pursue things beyond your natural needs, but you should be willing to be ordinary. You should meld yourself as drops of water do in rivers and seas. You should blend yourself like a tree in the forest. You should be like a flower blossoming harmoniously in a colorful garden or mountain valley among thousands of other flowers. You should fully experience and feel that with which you have been bestowed from the greatest creator. Never try to transform nature, but comply with it. If an individual brings harmony, entertainment, and blessings to others, to society, and to nature, then they have proven to have realized their value. But if that individual brings troubles and pain to others and to society, or harm to nature, then they have proven that they have not achieved their value. Taking the Tao of nature is the most effective way to realize the value of life. Such people will enjoy the favor and grace of the greatest creator, and their reward will be found in their homeland of heaven.